Hi, this is Ms.Luna, and today we're going to look at a database at Freeport Memorial Library. So let's Google Freeport Memorial Library. Here on the Freeport Memorial Library webpage, if you want to access resources from home, you can go to e-resources, look down the menu and pick research databases, and you have a whole selection here. In this particular case, this is for the English 12 literature research paper. And if you look through these topics, the only one that is really appropriate is literature and criticism. Once here, you'll see the Bloom's literature database, which I've gone over in another video. And now we're going to go over literature resources from Gale. Here is the Gale search box. So you can type in the title of the book that you're going to discuss, whether it's of Mice and Men, Othello, The Great Gatsby. I know many people are doing Othello. And one of the popular topics that is covered is jealousy. So I'm going to try typing that keyword into. If I don't find anything, I can always go back and just switch it back to Othello. But it's always nice to try and narrow down the search. I hit the search button. And here, under literature criticism, if you take a look, it says I have 189 articles. That's a lot. Not all of them may be relevant, so I have to really sift through them. So here you just gives you a breakdown. There's 189. There's 11 biographies. There's 15 topic and work overviews. Those are the main areas. There's a few other things here, but we're looking for criticism, so let's start with that. What's great is by typing in at the beginning Othello and the word jealousy, we have a few articles that mention jealousy in the title, and that's what I like to see. It means that they're going to talk about it in the article. This one is also good. Everyone knows like the green-eyed monster being green with envy means jealousy. And if I read the little description here, it says Godfrey discusses the interplay between jealousy and evil in Othello. So it gives me an idea of what this talks about if I wasn't sure. So that's perfect. If I wanted to see more articles, I could go to view all 189, but that would be quite a bit. And I could look through these other articles as well. Here's another jealousy one I might want to look at. Jealous husband. So typing in jealousy at the beginning for this particular work, Othello, worked out really well. It may not work out that way for all books. So I'm going to take a look at Shakespeare and the Green-Eyed Monster. So this is the title of the article. It gives me the author, Godfrey. It tells me where it came from. And this article was reprinted in Shakespearean Criticism, which is a reference work that I believe we also have in the library. And it tells you that it was then put into the Literature Resource Center database. So you have, it's telling you where it came from, which you're going to need. And if you look at this article, here again, this tells you what it's discussing, and then it's doing the same thing you're going to be doing. You're going to try to prove your point, your argument that there's jealousy in Othello. You're going to use both primary and secondary sources. In this case, this article is a secondary source. It is not the actual book Othello, which you read. It is another article discussing the deeper meaning in Othello. So this is a secondary source. So if I decide I want this sentence, I could take it and quote it and put it in my paper. I could put it into my Imagine Easy Scholar note card or my EasyBib note card, or some teachers are using a block of 3 to take notes. So you could take the quote, the direct quote, put it into your notes. If you notice here, they're taking lines from the actual book. You know that because it gives you the act and scene from Othello. So this would be part right here, because it is quoting directly from the book, trying to prove their point. Same as you're going to be doing. This could be used for your primary source quote, if it was useful to you. So you'll see there's quite a few here. So in this article is nice because you have your secondary information that you can quote, but you also have primary source information within this article because they're quoting evidence from the actual book Othello, which is what you're expected to do. So many of you went through, whether it's of Mice and Men, Othello, or the Great Gatsby, and found the exact page numbers and lines that help prove your argument. That is what this author is doing here as well. So notice how jealousy is highlighted because we typed it at the beginning, which is really helpful. We can go to all those areas and take a look. But we can also narrow down finding information a little bit quicker in the article by using Control F, which we went over in class, which is another way to search the article. So we have the words highlighted from the original search, but now we can search for, some of you are writing about Iago and how he caused problems for Othello. So I can focus in on Iago throughout the article and see what they're saying about him. Is there something I can use to show that he tricked Othello? And so I'll look through all these. Notice it shows 43 times that Iago shows up. And so I can use the arrow button to just move me along to the next one and go through them if I wanted. I could try a different word. Here I see the presence of Iago with his diabolical insinuations. So here Iago's not a good guy. He keeps messing with Othello, trying to make him jealous. So if I were writing about that, I could use that as well. So definitely take advantage of the search box at the beginning of the database and then Control F to further narrow down what you're skimming and scanning for in the article. Once again, if you decide you like this article, you have some choices. You can download the article and save it onto the computer under your ID number. You could save it to a flash drive. If you don't want to have to worry about losing your flash drive, you could save it to your Dropbox account. If you don't have one, it's free. You can make one. You can always ask Ms.Luna or someone else in the library how to create a Dropbox.com account. The other thing besides saving the article is you need to do your works cited page, your bibliography at the end of the paper. All database articles have the citation at the end. So here it's telling us it's in the MLA format, which is what your teacher is requiring here at the high school. It's already put in order for you. You have the author, the title of the article, where it came from, the date, the database, all that information is here and the link. So you would just, if you're going to save this, make sure you save it with this citation. Later, when you go to use either EasyBib to create your bibliography, or whether you're typing it by hand or using Scholar, we can take this and enter it in one of those automated citation machines and easily create your database. But if you don't have it, it will be a real pain to go back and find this article in the database. So definitely save time and save everything now. You can email it to yourself, but remember, at the high school you can't open your email. So it's just a way to have it back up on your phone or at home. Some other features are here if you want to listen to the article. If you want to download the recording of the article, you can do that. You can highlight information as well. So you could go like this, highlight, and select a color to highlight it in. You could make a note, secondary quote, number one, because I know some of you have to hand in a certain amount of quotes from the primary or the secondary source to your teacher. So if you're trying to keep track of how many you did, or you could make a note about what it's about or how you could use it. If you decide you don't want it, you can delete it, but otherwise you hit save. And then when you download it, this is really nice now. When you go to download the article, you have some choices. You could download it and save it on the computer to your ID or your flash drive, but now you can also save it to your Google Drive. So some of the English classes have been given access to Google Drive. So if you have an account, it's great. You can just save it to Google Drive, hit download, and it will go right into your Google Drive account, and you'll have the whole thing saved there. So definitely try that out. Also, many of you won't need this, but if you do need it, if you're having trouble understanding the article, and it would be easier to understand, for example, in Spanish, you can click Spanish, and it will translate the article. It won't be perfect Spanish, it's an automated system, like a robot, but it will give you enough to understand it. So if your first language is Spanish and you're having trouble and you just need to double check some things in your understanding, you can go and read it in the translated version. It just sometimes takes a few moments depending on the school's network and how the internet's running. But you can definitely try that out as well. I'm going to go back. So again, you could take a look at another article. Looks the same. Citation will be at the bottom. So again, this is a secondary source. It's an article discussing the book. It's not from the actual book. If you would like to start a folder in the database, you can, I don't know why that keeps showing up. Let's clear that. You can click on put it in your folder. And then if you notice up here, my folder's there. I can find my article there. So you could skim through all the articles, quickly select some, keep adding them to your folder. I'm going to add this jealousy one to my folder. So now I have 2 articles in my folder. So later, if I put all my articles here in the folder, it will have the citation, it will have the article. I can download them all to my Google Drive or to the computer or my flash drive all at once at one time instead of doing it one by one. So that is another great feature about this database. All right, so take a look, try it out. If you have questions, be sure to ask before you get too far along in your paper so that we can help you out.